Hi people, I've got another toy for my garage. Code reader scanner created by Launch C Reader 8001, and this is what it looks like, and this is what it does. It can scan full OBD codes, get into ABS, airbags, reset your oil, and help you with electronic parking brake, open and close, and test for cars with electronic parking brake. I think this code reader would be lovely to have when I had my previous car, Audi A6, because in Audi A6 you can't reset your oil on the dashboard like I do in my car, Volkswagen Touran. And electronic parking brake, also quite a few garages in the past, they refused to do rear brake pads because they didn't have a tool to open the parking brake. It's pretty it's not as complicated, it's pretty basic, but it does the job. So it comes with a bag with instructions on 3 languages. Not so much of instructions, it tells you how to register an update. I didn't register it yet, maybe I'll just give it as a gift to someone, or because I've got quite a few scanners by now anyway. Then it explains how to scan stuff and how to do. And what I like about this, there's also some shortcut buttons, so you can clear errors and without going in the menu looking for something. And it also shows you live data. We're gonna see that in a minute. And pretty much that's it. That's another language. So what we have here, we have a USB cable. We've got a little cute memory stick. And then there is a cable that goes into your car with the plug. We're gonna plug it in now. So let's get him out and see what it's doing. Little USB device, what I thought it was memory stick, it's not really. It's the adapter for the memory card. Why did I not think about it? As you can see, there is a mini USB port, and there is a memory stick here. There's still film left, so we're gonna keep it on, keep it tidy. Come back here, and then plug it into the car. It gets powered by the car. System is starting, as you can see. So this is our main screen. We have navigation buttons here, OK and go back, pretty simple. And then there is a shortcut buttons to DTC, diagnostic trouble codes or fault codes, quick button to erase all of them, and quick button to see the readiness. I'll talk about these buttons in a minute. What we can do here, we can read records, but at the moment we don't have any records here, so there is no recorded data, it says. What else we have? We can get help, see the information, abbreviation, tool information, like say abbreviation, what it means. MAF, mass airflow sensor, so lots of information of that explaining your trouble codes. Settings, where we can set the language, unit of measure, beeper, and we put it in a record mode. At the moment is off, and we don't want it to record anything at the moment. So diagnosing, say if you need to reset the oil or check the ABS or airbags, or say I've got electronic parking brake in this car. So what we can do, we can go to scan, select VW, I've got VW, and then we can either reset the oil, but I don't want to reset it. Oil lamp reset, ignition is on, yeah. So it gives you switch on ignition, yes. So you can reset it via software, like some cars, like my previous car, Audi A6, it has to be reset only by the code reader or computer. which is not very handy, or it can tell you on your particular car how to reset it manually. So we go to manual reset. This function is in manual reset mode, and it gives you to, I think it won't have my run, probably. It's 2003. This car's been produced since 2010. So I really need to update it. So on an older Chiron, previous Chiron model, it just tells you what to do to reset the service. With ignition off, press and hold the miles reset button on the dash. Now turn on ignition and start the engine with pressing that button. Service now should now be displayed, and turn the clock adjuster button either left or right, and this should reset the service notification. So it just tells you how to reset it without the software. It tells you how to reset it manually, or you can reset it with the software. As I said, I'm not gonna reset the service on this car. Car has its own oil interval, so I'm not gonna mess with that because I still have about 1,000 miles left to the next service, so I don't want to reset it. So we can go to brake reset. It gives us hints. It wants to make sure that the ignition is on, so it probably will tell us to put the ignition on. Switch on ignition, it is on. Yeah. So we can go to automatic scan. It's not the Touareg, it's Chiron, other models. So parking brake, we can go into parking brake, and it says that make sure your voltage is okay, ignition on, engine off, parking brake must be off. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna put these into the gear so it doesn't roll, and apply the brake and release parking brake. So parking brake must be off. Before basic settings are possible, you may need to press the brake pedal to allow it to turn it off. That's what we just done. So what we can do, we can either read fault codes, which I believe that you won't have any, and we can open brake calipers. So select open brake calipers. If I press it, you'll hear it winding. Okay, and then press OK, and it just rewinds brake calipers all the way, so we can do the brake parts, whatever service we need. This function was not successfully carried out. I don't know, it did the job. I don't know what that means, but it's exactly, and we get the message there, that parking brake. So, and then we can close parking brake calipers. Okay, I don't understand why it keeps saying function was not successfully carried out, because you clearly can hear that it's doing it. So it closes them and then opens to the normal open position because it was open. So we can also test them after that. Brake calipers function test. Okay, that's what I've done. I'm not entirely sure why it keeps saying this function was not successfully carried out. It was just because it was, as you can see, the error message about parking brake has gone, and it does work, so I can pull it and it applied, and as you can see the red thing is on, so that means the parking brake is applied. So let's get out of here. Some other functions this device has, we can check. We go to OBD, it can show you the live, it's selecting protocol. When it finds one, okay, then it knows which language to speak to the vehicle. So what we have here, we can see the data stream. So for that I'm gonna start the engine. There we go. So we can enter that, and then we can either view all items, or we can select specific what we want to see. I'm going to show you what all items it has. So as you can see, we have calculated load value. Engine coolant temperature is at the moment 35 degrees. Intake manifold absolute pressure goes up. Engine RPMs, vehicle speed, we're stationary at the moment. Intake air temperature 19 degrees. Throttle position. What else we have? Time since engine start 47 seconds, 48. Distance traveled since well, MIL is activated. So when the engine light is activated, we traveled only 0 kilometers so far. Fuel rail pressure, that's handy. EGR error, no error is good. Number of warm-ups since DTC cleared, 0. One more thing I think worth mentioning is the control module voltage, so you know what voltage your alternator is producing. So if your alternator is faulty, so you know you don't need to come with a voltmeter to your battery and measure that. So if I'll switch the engine off, hang on, okay, view all items. I forgot to put the ignition on. Right, let's have a look for that voltage with the engine off. Control module voltage 13 volts, which is pretty good for the battery. Dropping down, oh my god, over 12 volts anyway. So that's my battery voltage. So you don't need to measure it with a voltmeter. Finds its value. 12.5. And that's it. If I start the engine, it dropped. You can measure how far it dropped the voltage while engine starting. Dropped up to 10 because it takes a bit of a hassle to start the engine. Now it's on to 14, so forget your voltmeter. Now you know voltage here. Distance, that can be handy. Distance traveled since diagnostic trouble codes are cleared, so we know how many kilometers this vehicle has done since the errors were cleared. Common throttle. Then what else it has? It has a freeze frame. So when you get the freeze frame, at the moment it doesn't have any freeze frame data, but that's when you get the error fault code, and it shows you at the what parameters has it reached that, did it get that error, so you know at what conditions it happened. Then O2 sensor test, bank 1 sensor 1. This vehicle does not support, I probably need to update it or whatever. What else we have? Onboard monitoring, EGR monitoring, boost pressure. Ooh. Status pass. I want to have a look. What's this? PM filter bank means particulate matter filter bank, so that's for diesels with particulate filters. DPF, it's quite handy to know what condition it is currently. So if we enter that, it shows the exhaust gas pressure. Minimum limit is 1.8, maximum limit is 327. So we currently test value is 6, which says status pass. So that's good to know your condition of your particulate filter. It will not help you to regenerate your it will not force car to regenerate particulate filter, but at least it tells you what condition it is. I think this device is slightly more clever than me. Evap system test, this vehicle won't have it because it's for petrol cars, gasoline cars, so it's the system that prevents evaporating gasoline vapors into the atmosphere. So we have a diesel car, we don't have this problem. Vehicle information, this is my ID number and some other numbers. We can go into OBD mode. Processing. It shows us monitor status, readiness completed, how many. I'll talk about readiness in a sec. So we'll press the OK, read codes. I've got the error code here, which is supposed to be P202A, which is the heater for the AdBlue. I still didn't fix it yet. It says the fault code is not found in the database, but probably because I didn't update it yet, because it's pretty new. AdBlue is pretty new on cars, but it can read the code, so that's good. Now this, are you sure you want to exit? Okay, we'll go back to the main screen and let's work out these shortcut buttons. So these shortcut buttons are pretty good for accessing your OBD fault codes. So you don't, as soon as you plug it into the car, you don't need to go to like settings, scan or whatever. You go just diagnostic trouble codes, and it straight away takes you there. You see? So we've got, and there is another which is, I believe, the same. It's pending and it's current as well. So I've got this fault code. I've got the problem with the AdBlue heater. So this is erase. I'm gonna erase it in a minute to show you how it works. This is IM. IM stands for inspection maintenance, so it shows you readiness of the OBD systems. There can be up to 12, I think, different systems. Some of them are monitored constantly. Some of them need to reach certain driving conditions to be ready to say that this test is carried out, like fuel supply or misfire. Some key functions of the engine, they are monitored constantly, so it will give you the fault code straight away. But some of them, they need to reach certain driving conditions before they appear. So you to check, say if you're buying a car or you're testing a car, you want to make sure that all these conditions are reached and all monitors can be scanned. You can press this IM and it will show you what's ready. So you can see since last were cleared, or this driving cycle. So we'll check since last time when the fault codes were cleared. We go in, so it shows you NA, that means not available. OK, that means it has reached. Or INC, that means incomplete. So nitrogen oxide after treatment monitor is incomplete. Boost pressure system is incomplete here. So to make sure that we can scan all of that, we need to drive a bit more, so this test can be carried out. So you can know how far, when was the last time. So we can say, if we get out of here and we go to erase errors, so it's just a quick shortcut, clear reset emission related diagnostic information. Are you sure? So you can, it's like a shortcut buttons. So you just press OK. Please turn on ignition with the engine off. OK. Emission information has been cleared. OK, so now if we scan, vehicle has no fault codes, and also you can always check whether it was just cleared or it's definitely no fault codes after driving for some time. So if we go to maintenance readiness, since DTC were cleared, as you can see, incomplete, 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 incomplete. So all of that is incomplete because we just cleared it and it's not ready yet. So this is what I do. So let's try to go somewhere else just for the like scan VW brake diagnose. Vehicle scan system selection, so we can check airbags, for example. See what it says about our airbags. 50% scanning. So read trouble codes, and we can see there is no trouble with the airbags. So it's like a key functions of the car: brakes, airbags, oil, service. Let's see what brands does it cover. So Hyundai, Honda, GM, Daewoo, Mahindra. I don't even know what Mahindra is. Probably a good car. If it's a car, Maruti. So as you can see, it works with there's a separate section for Sprinter, for Mercedes Sprinter, Tata, Ford, Vauxhall. Don't expect a miracle from it, because it's just basic functions, but they are key functions for the engine, and for most of people or DIY enthusiasts it can be enough. Of course, if you have a Volkswagen, there are some more powerful software that can go into every little system and controller, and it can adopt new units. You know, if you say this car doesn't have a sat-nav and you need to install a sat-nav, you probably won't be able to do with this, because this is just for servicing, for maintenance for your car, but it covers all brands. So what can I say about this device? It's pretty good. Does what it says on the box. I'm not a big fan that, let's have a look, diagnose. I'm not a big fan that it doesn't cover everything, but it does what it does for its money. System selection, as you can see, we get like brakes and airbags, and of course we got all these OBD engine management as well, but will be lovely to see a bit more, but probably it will cost a bit more then as well. Thank you for watching. See you later. Bye.